What I remember most about those years on Battlestar was the stories. The most memorable story was, I think, 33, which was the very first episode that we filmed. It really set the tone for the entire series. And the pilot, the first 2 hours, was very well written. And then when we hit the very first episode of the very first season, it just took off. And the characters were so well defined. And Battlestar Galactica, to me, is the finest usage of television I've ever been a part of in my life. I did the first Chicken, but it wasn't as good as the one that they ended up filming. I did the first one, and that's where they got the idea for the whole situation. And then it went from there, it went further. It was the Stick Man, and then it was the Unicorn. I was mainly taking care of the time when I wasn't saying anything and on camera, and at the same time I didn't want to just sit there without moving, because then you draw attention to yourself. It's just so unreal. And then if I knew that if I started to move in the scene and I was way in the back, that the eye line would move to me, and that would be distracting of the major scene. So it was very, very complex how to be there and feel organically the reason that you're sitting there. And so I grabbed a piece of paper that was in an ashtray, and I started to mess with it. That's when it happened. I am I'm very happy, especially when I go to the bank to deliver my checks. I get very happy. But all in all, I'm pretty comedic in many ways. I've done a lot of comedy in my lifetime, in theater, and in some in film, a little bit of film. Yeah. Stand and Deliver was had a lot of humor in it. And so yeah, I enjoy humor. I think the hardest time is in between shows, when you're trying to either develop your own, your own pieces that you're going to be doing, whether it be theater or television or motion picture, and just trying to, in the time period that you spend when you're not working is very crucial. So it prepares you for when you do get the job and you have to go in front of camera, that you're in tune with the moment to moment. And how you do that is by either rehearsing or preparing yourself. When you're not in front of camera working, you are preparing to go in front of camera. So, and that's a constant. And if you spend years before you get to go back on camera again, it becomes a very, very challenging situation, unless every day you're moving towards understanding that moment. And so you need a lot of hope. So hope is the key, but you have to generate your own hope, because the industry and the lifestyle doesn't bring it about. There's very little hope in work in our field.